While the media obsessed over plea deals and palace intrigue, Trump just rewired the entire global order from the Oval Office. In 1 week, he's done what 4 years of Biden couldn't. Struck a massive NATO weapons deal where Europe pays everything and America pays nothing. He's giving Putin 50 days to make a deal or face crushing tariffs. He revealed that American pilots have been training for 22 years to strike Iran's nuclear sites, but no president had the guts to give the order until now. And buried in the news cycle, Barack Obama apparently under federal investigation for violating the Espionage Act. The Trump doctrine isn't coming, it's here, and the world better just adjust fast. So stay tuned. And while Trump rebuilds American strength on the world stage, smart Americans are rebuilding their personal strength with collagen. As we age, our body's collagen production drops dramatically by 40. You're already in decline. And that's why I use Ageless Multi-Collagen. This formula includes 5 key types from 4 premium sources, all hydrolyzed for easy absorption. No clumping, no order, just smooth blending into your morning routine. Every order helps feed children through NoKidHungry.org. So go to healthwithgary.com. and get 51% off, free shipping, and a 60-day guarantee. That's healthwithgary.com, because looking strong and being strong go hand in hand. Okay, so this just in 24 hours ago, Joshua Hall. And who is Joshua Hall? Looking here, he's let's see, Joshua Hall, official X account of the Josh Hall for Congress campaign. 44.5 thousand followers on X, libertarian for Donald Trump. So he's a congressional candidate making this statement here. And he says, Barack Obama is under federal criminal investigation on the verge of being indicted for violations of the Espionage Act and conspiracy against rights related to his role in Russiagate and spying on President Trump's 2016 campaign. He has been implicated in the Comey and Brennan investigation, according to a DOJ source. If charged and convicted under these statutes, he potentially faces the rest of his life in federal prison. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. Of course, that is something I would love to see, but we do know that Comey and Brennan, all of those guys, are now officially under DOJ investigation, and of course, all roads lead to Barack Obama. Now, there are community notes on this post. I should point out, and I want to make sure you guys see this, that people are making a claim that Obama is not under investigation for any federal crime and is not at risk of being indicted for it. But I want to make it clear that this candidate has made the claim from a DOJ source. So any of these community noters on this post, well, did they talk to the source at the DOJ or didn't they? Right? Okay, so we're going to just kind of lean into that and see what happens. I'd love to see it. Now, taking a look at what President Trump has said about the tariffs. Listen.
Country. And it's basically telling countries that we are going to give you the privilege to shop and work in our country. And I think it's very good. And in some cases, we'll make deals. You know, we'll make a direct deal as opposed to a letter. We've already made some of them with various countries. But it's a tremendous amount of money to this country. It's really incredible. The potential of this country is incredible. It's been run very foolishly. It's been run stupidly, so stupidly. And some of the countries are very upset now because they've been taking advantage of us for 30, 40 years. And I had it stopped. I was stopping in the process, and then we had the COVID in the last part of my administration. But we had the strongest economy in the history of our country. And this is going to be better, I predict. This is going to be better. The money coming in, the tariffs coming in, hundreds of billions of dollars are coming in. They're pouring.
Okay, so this is his interview he did with his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, and it's making headlines here. Oh, here's the worst punishment ever.
What's wrong?
Daddy's going to do that.
What?
Daddy's going to do crack.
He what?
He's going to do crack.
Are you serious? Daddy! What's wrong?
Daddy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be called one either. Here's President Trump on the tarmac answering a question about Putin.
Secretary, are you going to be announcing sanctions on Russia tomorrow? We're going to see what we will see tomorrow, okay? We have the Secretary General. As you know, Europe is
announce sanctions. But I am very disappointed with President Putin. You know, I thought he was somebody that meant what he said, and he'll talk so beautifully, and then he'll bomb people at night. We don't like that.
No, we don't. POTUS on strikes. POTUS on the strikes against Iran's key nuclear facilities, also on the tarmac.
Big strike. You add on that a tremendous success with the strike that we had getting rid of nuclear weapons in Iran. That was a big, big strike. And, you know, when the pilots came to my office, they were there, as you know, with some of the other people having to do with that strike. And they said something very interesting. They said, you know, we've been practicing this for 22 years, but no president had the guts to tell us to do it. But this has been on our minds for many, many years, and we did it. And I would say from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, that attack was a 15. You add on that a
Okay, continuing. Here we have Trump announcing a weapons deal with NATO to arm Ukraine, confirming Europe will not foot the bill. As you know, I was just at NATO summit with President Trump, traveling in the official White House delegation with the media. We stayed at the hotel that the White House had commandeered the entire hotel for the duration of the stay. An amazing experience. So here we have the Secretary General of NATO in the Oval Office just a few hours ago, and President Trump talking about this new deal. Now, when I was there at the NATO summit, one of the key takeaways was that we have this new new money being pledged from European NATO nations, about $130 billion. Okay, so now we have a deal with NATO to arm Ukraine. Now, let me just make something very clear. I just want to see this whole thing come to an end. I don't want to see anyone else killed in this war, just like President Trump. Okay? So I'm not sure how this advances that, but it's got to come to an end. Let's listen.
Matt's going to, and we make the best equipment, the best missiles, the best of everything. The European nations know that. And we've made a deal today, and I'm going to have Mark speak about it, but we've made a deal today where we are going to be sending them weapons, and they're going to be paying for them. The United States will not be having any payment made. We're not buying it, but we will manufacture it, and they're going to be paying for it. Our last meeting of a month ago was very successful in that they agreed to 5%, which is more than $1 trillion a year, so they have a lot of money. And these are wealthy nations.
Okay, so what President Trump is saying is that the military-industrial complex is going to get a nice big fat check to make some more weapons to send to Europe, and then, of course, Europe onto Ukraine.
A lot of money, and they want to do it. They feel very strongly about it, and we feel strongly about it, too. But we're in for a lot of money, and we don't want to do anymore, and we can't. But we make the best, and we're going to be sending the best to NATO, and in some cases to maybe, at Mark's suggestion, if we go to Germany, where they're going to send early on missiles, and they'll be replaced, and NATO is going to take care of it. It's going to be coordinated by NATO, and they're going to work very much with Matt Whitaker, who's right here, who's a great ambassador, and Matt's going to be coordinating. You better do a good job, Matt.
I will.
But Matt's going to coordinate. He's a very talented guy. He's going to coordinate everything.
It was funny. They're talking about Matt Whitaker. In fact, I met Matt Whitaker at Mar-a-Lago some years ago. I got his phone number, and you know, just had it in my phone, and I text him while I was at NATO. I'm texting the freaking ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to NATO while I'm at NATO, and I go, "Hey Matt, I'm on the ground with the U.S. delegation. Love to have a few words with you." I got a read report from the text message. He did not respond. And then later on, if you watch the video, the behind-the-scenes video that we shot, and we put it up on the channel here, there's a video of Matt Whitaker walking up. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, you got a couple words for, you know, the folks back home?" He's like, "Oh, I'm not doing any media right now." And we took a selfie. I think I might have posted a selfie on X. But I said, "Hey, you know, Matt, we met at Mar-a-Lago." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I got your text. Sorry, we couldn't make it work out." So maybe I should shoot him a text and get some more clarity on this weapons deal. But it looks like Matt Whitaker is going to be helping facilitate what is exactly going to happen here. So Trump announcing a weapons deal with NATO to arm and confirming Europe will foot the bill. A weapons deal with NATO to arm Ukraine. Now, looking at that sentence, this is what Putin is so pissed off about, is that NATO is arming Ukraine, and it doesn't see. I just want to see a path to peace here. There's no discussion of an off-ramp to peace. Just more weapons deals. Here we have more.
Today, where we are going to be sending them weapons and they're going to be paying for them. The United States will not be having a suggestion if we go to Germany where they're going to, NATO's going to take care of it. It's going to be coordinated.
Okay, so we just saw that clip here. Here's President Trump talking more with the Secretary General in the Oval Office.
It's a honor, great honor, to have a friend of mine who's become very friendly over the last number of years. Each other before, but Mark is the head of NATO, Mark Rutte.
And Mark called him Daddy. Mark called him Daddy at the NATO summit.
Secretary General of NATO, highly respected by everybody that knows him, but in particular the European countries. They have great reliance on him, and he's done a fantastic job. And we had a tremendous meeting, I guess it's about a month ago, and I think Mark will tell you that it was really perhaps more important the date of November 5th. That was the election day. Maybe that was the most important because we've made tremendous progress together.
Continuing with our coverage of the Oval today, here's President Trump talking about how pissed off he is at Russia.
With Russia, one of the reasons that you're here today is to hear that we are very unhappy, I am, with Russia. But we'll discuss maybe a different day. But we're very, very unhappy with them, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs at about 100%. You'd call them secondary tariffs. You know what that means. But today we're going to talk about something else. And as you know, we've spent $350 billion approximately on this war with Russia and Ukraine. And would like to see it end. It wasn't my war, it was Biden's war. It's not my war. I'm trying to get you out of it. And we want to see it end. And I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%. And that's the way it is. That can be more simple. It's just the way it is. I hope we don't have to.
What else have we got here? President arriving back at the White House for another week of winning. Love these moments at Marine One. Always epic. President Trump arriving like a boss. Here's more. President Trump, CNN. The word to describe Trump's net approval on immigration ranging from horrible, -27 to bad. Let's listen.
Focus on Gallup. In a word, Kate, oof. What are we talking about here? Take a look at Trump's net approval rating on immigration. Got 5 numbers for you across the screen here. A lot of focus on Gallup at -27. That's horrible. Quinnipiac University, -16. That's awful. Marist is bad at -9. Ipsos is -8. Fox at -7. Bad. So going from your left side, bad, to just downright terrible on the right side of your screen, the American people have turned against President Donald Trump on what was his best issue, one in which he had a positive net approval rating for most of the term, and arguably the issue that got him, of course, the GOP nomination all the way back in 2016. And one of the issues, of course, he used to quite a successful degree.
Absolutely. Is there signs that this is affecting his overall approval?
Okay, so you see this here, and then the question is, does this actually matter to folks? Why don't we zone in on Hispanic voters, right? Because obviously a lot of the immigrants who have been affected by this have been Hispanic voters in terms of the immigration crackdown. Take a look here. Trump's net approval rating among Hispanics Remember, Trump put in a historic performance last fall among Hispanic voters, did better than any Republican nominee dating all the way back since we have data in 1972. His net approval rating among Hispanics in February was pretty gosh darn good for a Republican at -2 points. Look at how far it's fallen now in June, according to CBS News YouGov, at -26 points. And I should note, CBS News YouGov is not alone on this. This is what we see in the averages as well. Donald Trump was doing historically well for a Republican among Hispanics in terms of his net approval rating, and now he's basically back where he was during his first term, which is quite a low approval rating, one in which has brought his overall approval rating down amongst the entire electorate.
And one thing that has been very clear is that as this crackdown has continued, it has put immigration enforcement, ICE, in a whole new spotlight across the country. What are the numbers on ICE now?
Yeah, what are the numbers on ICE? It's not just affecting Donald Trump, it's affecting ICE as well. ICE is not approving. In Trump's first term, the average was 0 points, right? So right there on the bottom, as many approve as disapprove. Look at where we are now in June of 2025. -17 points all the way down. So the bottom line is this immigration crackdown not being viewed popularly by the American public, bringing Donald Trump down and bringing immigration and custom enforcement.
Interesting. I wonder who the American people are listening to. Are they listening to CNN? Where are they getting their news from? They should be getting their news from us, because we get directly from the White House. We get the real truth, unfiltered. So I don't know about these numbers. Let's see. Here's Caitlin Bennett 24 hours ago. A law student turned anti-Trumper has a meltdown over Adam Francisco's MAGA hat and threatens to beat me up for supporting Trump.
If you could say one thing to a Trump supporter, what would you say to them?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
What would you say to a Trump supporter?
So, your Mexican family? Where is he now?
What?
Where's your Mexican family?
All right, go ahead and say it to him.
Fuck you. I don't care.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fuck you.
Thank
What
you.
about me? Is that directed at me too?
Do you want to be fucked too? Because fuck you
Not
too.
by you.
Fuck you too.
No,
fuck you
I'm
talking
good.
about with your dumb ass. Trump don't even like you or your kind. Fuck what we talk about. And bitch, don't. How you Yeah, fuck y'all. Fuck you.
Okay, have a good Tuesday.
And if I catch you, I'll be
If you catch me what? Catch me what? Was that a threat?
It was.
Why don't I just do something now?
Oh, you want me to beat your ass so I can go to jail? Good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you just do something right now then?
Hi. Hi, yeah. We don't provoke.
I feel like, wait, no, because I just want to say something. Because I just, they called us to talk.
I mean, I pay my security guard to do something, so, I mean, might as well get the use out of it, right?
Right, exactly.
You're going to regret this when you see it. She's going to be very embarrassed when she grows up and gets some man.
Fuck both y'all. Especially her.
Isn't that a good thing that he exists?
No, I don't like him, so he could die. I don't want to get canceled.
You cancel, girl.
I hope your future employers do not get wind of this video because you won't get a job.
You don't think so?
No, the amount of curse words you've said, you can't debate. And lawyers are meant to debate. You have not been able to present one good argument, and you can't do it without cursing. So no law firm is going to see this to be like, wow, we're going to hire her. It's not going to happen. So good luck in your law career.
I might not even have one with Trump. He already canceling financial and all that other good stuff. So I might not even have one. Fuck it.
If you could say one thing to a Trump supporter.
Wow. That's an educated person, right? Okay, continuing with our coverage here on the president. Let's see. Here's more on the Ukraine-Russia situation. Nick Sorter reporting Trump purchasing $10 billion in arms in the United States. We just covered that. Okay, here he is talking about Ukraine.
That you have taken. This is really big.
This is the Secretary General of NATO. Pardon me.
On Thursday, that you have taken a decision. And the decision is that you want Ukraine what it needs to have to maintain, to be able to defend itself against Russia, but you do want Europeans to pay for it, which is totally logical. And this is building on the tremendous success of the NATO summit, the 5%, but also the decision to keep Ukraine strong and the decision to increase our defense industrial production. So based on that, that was Europe stepping up. This is again Europeans stepping up. So I've been in contact with many countries. I can tell you that at this moment, Germany massively, but also Finland and Denmark and Sweden and Norway, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Canada. They all want to be part of this, and this is only the first wave. There will be more. This is really
there will be more. President Trump talking about the deal.
Time ago. We should have had a deal done a long time ago. But it just keeps going on and on and on. And every night people are dying. A lot of people, a lot of Russian soldiers are dying, by the way. And a lot of Ukrainian soldiers too. But a lot of Russian soldiers are dying. We should have.
And moving right along, we have some more on what happened with the, here's more from the Trump, Laura Trump interview, talking about, let's see, his legacy. Here.
When history looks back on this time in our country, when history looks back on you, how would you like to be remembered?
A good person, but a person that saved our country. I really believed our country was going down for the fall. I don't know if it ever could have come back. It was very close to the edge. And I really would like to be known as the man that saved our country.
And I think he will. I think he will. He does have to navigate a lot right now. We also have this. Let's talk about the what happened in Butler. Here's Roger Stone discussing Donald Trump's first brush with death back in 1989. But here's President Trump talking about Butler, which he very rarely does.
Communications, but they me, and I'm satisfied with it. I'm satisfied with it. They should have had somebody in the building. That was a mistake. They should have had communications with the local police. They weren't tied in. And they should have been tied in. So there were mistakes made. And that, shouldn't have happened. And that building was a prime building in terms of what they were trying to do. So, but I was satisfied in terms of the bigger plot, the larger plot. I was satisfied. And, I have great confidence in these people. I know the people. And they're very talented, very capable. They had a bad day, and I think they'll admit that. They had a rough day. This is a very dangerous job, being president. I say a race car driver, 1% of 1%, think of that, die. It's not a bull rider. I think that's pretty dangerous. It's like 1/10 of 1% die. And with the president, it's like 5%. Why didn't you tell me this? I could have maybe made a different decision, but I wouldn't have made a different decision because we're doing so well. The country's.
Here's, let's go to Roger Stone talking about, I didn't know this. This is apparently one of the first time story being told. Donald Trump's first brush with death in 1989, and Roger Stone was there.
With death. 1 year ago today, President Donald Trump, then candidate Donald Trump, survived a brush with death. Several weeks later, at a West Palm Beach golf course, he survived another brush with death. But people don't know there was a third brush with death. Let me read to you from a column by the syndicated columnists Evans and Novak from October 10th, 1989. Veteran Republican political consultant may have been responsible for saving his client, Donald Trump, from dying in the crash of the billionaire dealmaker's helicopter. Stone had asked for an appointment with Trump that afternoon to discuss several pressing matters of business. Impossible, Stone was told, because Trump had to fly that afternoon to Atlantic City on casino business. But when Stone persisted, Trump finally agreed to see him, saying that he would send his top aides to New Jersey on a helicopter and then have the helicopter return to New York to pick him up and take him down Atlantic City. Stone and Trump had barely sat down to begin their conversation when they were interrupted with the horrifying news. The helicopter, which had been rented because the Trump helicopter was being serviced, had crashed into the Garden State Parkway, sending all 5 passengers, including Trump's 3 top executives, to their death. Trump was devastated, but he then called every one of the widows so that they would hear from him rather than on television or radio that their husbands had perished. I have never said, and I will never say, that I saved Donald Trump's life. I was merely an instrument of the Lord, and I knew at that moment that his life had been preserved, as it was in Butler, for some larger purpose. I recognized in 1988 that he had the size. I don't mean the physical size, but I mean the stature, the stamina, the courage, the independence, the persistence to be not just a great candidate for president, but to be a truly great president. I myself, as I think many of you, am unsatisfied with the answers we have received regarding the attempt on President Trump's life in Butler, Pennsylvania. I am not certain that Thomas Matthew Crooks is indeed the shooter. I am not certain that he acted alone. And I find the missteps of the Secret Service in coordination with the state and local police unacceptable and unexplainable. And therefore I say, it is time for the appointment of a special prosecutor to investigate the 2 attempts on President Donald Trump's life. 1 year.
I can get behind that 100%. Here's President Trump 6 hours ago.
And it's remarkable to think that it was only 1 year ago this week that my time on earth nearly ended. And if you look at that, God was with me, because that's something that, in theory, I should not be with you today. Well, I believe that, and I believe it, that my life was saved by God to really make America great again. I really believe that. I think I have a son, he's a great shooter, like a championship shooter. Don and Eric was a great shooter, both of them. But they said that at that distance with that gun, you didn't have a chance. And we turned the head at the right time, didn't we? Huh? We turned the head at the right time. So I don't know, some people say it was lucky, and some people say something else. I say something else. I think God helped us.
And God is still with us, my friends. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what America looks like in action. No more blank checks to Ukraine. No more NATO freeloading on American taxpayers. Empty threats to our enemies. Trump just flipped the script. Europe buys our weapons with their money. Putin gets 50 days before economic destruction, and Iran finally understands we're not bluffing anymore. We make the best stuff, that's what Trump said, but we're not paying anymore. And while he's restructuring the global power, Obama's past apparently catching up. Federal criminal investigation for spying on Trump's campaign, the Espionage Act, conspiracy against rights. The grand jury is apparently meeting. It's not revenge, it's justice delayed. For 4 years, Biden let the world walk all over us while Obama's crew covered their tracks, and now the bills are coming due. Everyone's paying except America. So here's my question. Is Trump right to make Europe pay 100% for Ukraine's weapons while we profit? Or the war machine profits? Yes or no? Hit the comments, and then check out our merch shop. It's linked down below. You can get our President Pen shirt, American Alcatraz, Alligator Alcatraz, MAGA Avengers, Trigger Liberal Today at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.